Hello, in this episode we are going to learn how to serve some static files from our Plack-based application. If you look at the searchcpan.org website, this is the original website. You can see that here in the top there is a little camel or whatever animal that looks like. On the other hand, if we look at the website, the way we look at it on our development server, it says PW. It's actually the icon of the Perl Weekly. The reason it's there, this is called, first of all, this is called the favicon. And it's usually saved in the favicon.ico file in the root directory of the website. The reason that you see the Perl Weekly here is just because the same URL, localhost 5000, is just the development URL, and I'm using it for various projects. So probably the last time I loaded the file from there, or the last time it cached the favicon.ico, was when I looked at the Perl Weekly development server. And so that's what's cached there. But the thing is that if we go back to the searchcpan.org website and we type in favicon.ico, then it will serve this little camel for us. And on the other hand, if we go to this website and try to type in favicon.ico, then it will say that the page is not even available. So the reason this is not available is because I stopped the server and I forgot to launch it. So here in the console, we are back in the directory where the development happens, and Plack up -r will launch the server, and the -r tells to reload it every time that we are making some changes. It's listening on port 5000. Now I can go back to the web server and reload, and it will say 404 not found, because that file is now served by the Plack application we created, and that's what we wanted, that it will say 404 not found every time that there is a file that's not found. So how can we add this file here? First of all, we just going to take the URL, switch to our console, go to the another window for the project, and here we're going to create a directory. It's called the static directory, where we're going to save the static files, and there we're going to serve the files from there. So we are using wget to download this file, and then we're going to have this favicon in our static directory, and we'll see how to serve it from there. The other thing we want to do is the robots.txt. So if you look at the searchcpan.org, it has a robots.txt file that tells that every user agent should not visit these subpages. Now, besides these subpages, we actually want to disallow every access to our website for robots, because we don't want them to index the pages. That would be creating duplicate indexing. It would just either ban our site or just confuse the search engines. So we take the content of this file, the beginning of the content of this file, and we create another static file, robots.txt, in the same directory, in the same static directory, and this is what we would like to serve. So now we have two static files that we would like to serve from the static directory. How do we do that? We open the application, the module, where we implement everything, and here we have the run function. This run method is being called every time there is a request. And what we did here is that we returned a subroutine. That's what we did. Now, instead of returning this subroutine, we're going to use two things: the builder function of the Plack builder that can combine various pieces of Plack, and a middleware that will help us to provide the static files, to serve the static files. So there are a number of middlewares for Plack that allow us to change the course of action in a Plack request, and one of them is called Plack middleware static, and we are going to use that. So instead of returning this subroutine, we assign it to a variable so we can later use it, and then at the end, and then after it, we use the builder function that we're going to import from the Plack builder. And this builder function gets the parts of the Plack stack that we are using. The second part will be the application itself. Okay, so that's what we if the others don't serve the file, then this will serve the file. That's the point. And then we are enabling here the Plack middleware static. This is the middleware that we want to enable. It has two parameters that we want to pass. One of them is the path. This is the URL basically that we want it to serve. It's a regular expression. So everything that from the root, everything that is either the favicon ICO file or the robots.txt file, either of them is matching, then we are going to serve this middleware to serve the file, and then we also have to provide the root directory where to serve these files from, and this is the same root directory where the application is, which we are going to save in a variable called root. Later on we will fill this variable, and there the static subdirectory. So this is how we pass the parameters to the builder function. Now we have to have this root variable. You might recall that in the template, here in the template function, we already have a way to calculate the root, but it's a really nasty way, and I'm probably going to refactor it and change it. But for now, we can either copy this as it is, or we can refactor this code and create a root function. So instead of copying this again, I'm just going to create a function called root, and this function is just returning the same thing, returning the root of the root directory. So we're refactoring this template, and now we have the root function that we can use here somewhere. Let's say here, my root equals to the root function to return to get the root of the directory where the application lives. The only thing that I think we are still missing is the importing the builder function. So at the top of our file, use Plack builder, and it will import the builder function. Now the server here was supposed to reload, and it has all kind of crashes when our code wasn't compiling correctly, but now it successfully killed and launched the server again. So let's say if we can go back to our server, and if now we are reloading the file, here we have the little camel. Now the browser still haven't updated this. I'm not sure exactly how to get it to update. Maybe we have to invalidate the cache, but it doesn't really matter. It's just bothering us for the development a little bit. And then the robots.txt served from our, it doesn't work for some reason. It does, sorry. It probably was also caching. So it's served from our server now, or development application. Now we can go and commit our changes to Git, and then this is for today.